Good morning, futures traders. Today is Friday, February 13th. Time is 10 o'clock. So what I did today, make it a little different video, is I did trade the open. We did have a pre-market open prediction of up. We were right at the fib level, 50% fib level on the retrace from the earlier upswing. Took the long right at the open and had a great trade. But then I decided to let it run some more starting at 10 o'clock, and you'll see this video kept us out of just a lot of garbage. Large bar protection, we had Fibonacci suppression. So Sentinel has a lot of built-in protections, one of which is going to be Fibonacci, confluence, as well as suppression. So for example, if a trade is selling into a Fibonacci support area, it will suppress the trade, and vice versa. If it's buying into a Fibonacci resistance area, it will suppress the trade if you have it turned on. So you'll see there's a setting at the bottom in that grid across from the heat map. Top of the heat map, it says suppression. So when that's turned on, like I said, Fibonacci suppression will kick in. So that's just another level of protection. There's also Smart Trader, which will keep you out of high volatility situations. So, for example, we continue to keep track of volatility and the levels. So when the side bar where the dashboard is red, dark red, that is very high volatility, so it will not trade on your behalf. So we did have all this turned on, and as you can see, it's going to take a while for us to get into a trade. It was almost 30 minutes before we got into a trade. So a lot of choppy action going on. We had a very large bars for at least a half hour. And as you can see, we're already, 35 minutes into the session and there were no trades. So like I said, I started the auto trading after I was done with my manual trading. And you'll see a trade around 10:30 mark, around give or take. But so again, several features you could see in the upper left-hand corner. We do have the volatility ratio that is letting you know about the volatility and if it's high, low, or extremely dangerous. Below that is letting you know that the Fibonacci suppression is active. So like I said, if we have a price that's going into support, then a fib level, it will, like I said, suppress it. So it will not take the trade. And we did have one. So there was a short going into the 50% level and it failed. Suppression kept us out of a losing trade. So we would have had a loss already on that trade, but it kept us out. So as you see, Fibonacci's are pretty spot on. We do keep track of the golden area. The green box that you see being drawn with each bar, this is letting you know that if price gets into that box, it will suppress, and you get a sell order, it will suppress it. If it's before that box, that green box, that means it's got plenty of room to hit your first target of 40 ticks, and it will take a sell order. Now, we do have several mechanisms built into Sentinel. We have the chop filter, as always. It's a little better. We do have large bar protection has been enhanced a bit as well as you can see, we do have the zones being drawn in the background. So this is not your standard green, red, green, red. You won't see a lot of the colors changing every other bar. They stay pretty consistent. As you can see, we've been in this red for a while. At the open, you get some crazy action. You could see that. But so again, those are to help you understand what price is currently doing at the time. So you can see we were approaching our London high right here. And again, nothing really happening right now because we were in safe mode. If you look at the Smart Trader in the lower right-hand corner, it's got 3 dots next to it, a green, yellow, and red. This is telling you that we are going to take any signal when volatility is green, yellow, or light red. Light red's not necessarily bad. It's the dark red that we will not take it. So when it's green, yellow, and red like that, it will suppress extreme volatility. You will not get into any trades when volatility is just off the charts. You could configure that. If you want to go green and yellow, you can just say only trade when volatility is in the green or yellow space. If you just want to trade only and you're ultra conservative, you don't want to trade it when volatility is just perfectly normal, you just keep it at green. So again, a lot of choices there with Sentinel. You also have the ability in the dashboard to move your stops based on the ATR and your targets based on the ATR. So there's buttons there as well that once you're in a trade, you can automatically move your stops based on the ATR, and it uses a multitude of multipliers. It'll start at 0.5, and as you cycle through the buttons, it'll go a 0.5, 0.75 multiplier, 1, 1.5, 2, and then it'll recycle back to 0.5. So again, you'll be able to move your targets based on the price action that you're reading at the time. The 59 ticks that you're seeing right below the bar, that is a dynamic indicator based on compression and tick density, letting you know what the optimal targets should be based on the tick density. So the number of ticks it takes to pretty much get into that bar area. So you can see we still have not gotten into a trade. Pretty crummy price action. It's protecting you from this, which is what you want. You want a quality setup. You don't necessarily want to be in every single trade. Like I said, we had a Fibonacci suppression already that saved us. We're now approaching the 1025 time frame, and you'll be able to see a trade kicking in shortly. And then you're done. You could let it run the rest of you could let it run till 11 o'clock, or you can stop. I mean, it was a very good trade what we had. So you'll see coming up as we approach the 0%, which is typically the end of the up move. So you could configure also in Sentinel the levels that you want the suppression to use. So if you don't want it to worry about the 23.6, you could turn that off. It'll still show, but the green box will stay. So right now I have it set to the 38 level. Okay, so here you go. We have our breakout up here. We hit our break-even target. As you can see, we were moving up and we were done. So there is Praedox Sentinel protecting you from all this garbage. It took the one trade, suppressed it, and we're done. Have a great day.